I'm happy you came to find me. Allow me to apologize once again. I should have spoken to you sooner, told you what I knew, and not betrayed your trust.
Indeed you should have.
As I said, I'd like to make up for it and help you find your family again.
How do you intend to do that?
As you now know, I knew your mother. We had trouble communicating at first, of course, but we gradually learned to understand one another. She was important in her village. Based on what I know today, I think she was a Donegad. She told me her name, Arelwin, and told me about her family. She even gave me a pendant for you. You were only a child, so I gave it to Mrs. de Sade for safekeeping.
She gave me a necklace when I went to say goodbye to her. She said it was a family heirloom. Did my mother tell you the name of her village?
No. But I'm sure the Norts can help us. They were the ones who took your mother to the continent.
It was such a long time ago. How can I find out if they remember?
The Norts record everything down to the gentlest breeze. They must have written something in a logbook somewhere. So, do you want to try and find out where you come from? Do you want to find your relatives?
Yes. All this is so new to me, but I suppose so, yes.
Let's go then.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
I'll see you later, Father.
Take...
You have come at the right time, Your Excellency. I am in a delicate situation and your help would be invaluable.
I'm listening, Admiral.
Captain Ruben warned me that he suspected a member of his crew of being a spy. It is almost certain she sent secret navigation information to foreigners.
Why ask me to take care of it?
This is a very serious accusation. One that results in a member of the guild being expelled. The Norts are like a family, very connected, but also likely to carry resentment. I think an external view is required to be certain that there will be no bias. Anyway, their ship is anchored at New Serene. Your authority will allow you to get more answers than us.
I see. What is the exact nature of the information that could have been sent?
It's up to you to find out. But all the Norts know how we navigate our ships. You've seen the techniques we use, and you know we want to keep them secret.
I agree. Where can I find Captain Ruben?
At the port in your town. You know his ship. It was Captain Vasco's before he landed. I'm counting on you, Your Excellency. We must shed light on this case.
I have come to talk to you about a personal matter.
After what I revealed to you, I was sure you would come back to find me. What would you like to know?
You told me that I was born on one of your ships. Of an islander captured on the island.
We'd like to know about this woman's origins.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I did not take part in those expeditions. And our old archives are far from here.
Is there no one on Tier-Fredy who can help us? Please.
Very well. I do know an old captain who could perhaps help you out.
Where can he be found?
His ship is moored in the port of Hikmet, if I'm not mistaken. His name is Captain Lisandro.
Thank you for your help, Admiral.
De Sardet?
Yes, Admiral?
Don't get too caught up in the past. That one in particular. Nothing good will come of it.
Whether or not we choose to get caught up in it, Admiral, the past always catches up with us. Sadly, I'm paying the price of this. Thank the enlightened that a captain who took part in these expeditions is right here on the island.
It is indeed a stroke of luck. I hope he remembers my mother.
Do not worry. If his memory fails him, he may have kept his diary from that time.
Hello there. My name is de Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
I am Captain Lisandro. Pleased to meet you. I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Yet your face seems familiar. How odd. Well, what can I do for you?
Do you know this port well?
Oh, I know it all right. I've been mooring my ship here for over 15 years. It's a safe harbor, well protected from the winds and away from the reefs.
And before that?
Before? I don't really know what you mean. Before, there was nothing but the coast itself, I imagine.
Did you know the island before all the colonists arrived?
Yes. Now that's going back a bit. And it isn't a topic for somebody who isn't one of our own.
So tell me what it was like when the Alliance first began to settle here.
It was still wild, dangerous, and very beautiful. And all that has changed now.
Did you see the city being built?
Almost before my very eyes. I saw it grow as fast as you're breathing right now. But it was barely more than a port and a couple of huts surrounded by forest in the beginning. And then the trees began to come down. and the houses began to sprout up. It happened at a crazy pace, but I'm not sure that many good things came of all that change.
Admiral Cabral advised me to speak to you about a matter of some concern to me.
The Admiral? Coming from a legate, I should have expected that. So?
You are the only one on this island that can help me.
Really? Oh, I think I understand. That's why your face looked familiar. The congregation is good at keeping its secrets, isn't it? This story is not a new one.
25 years. 25 years since the Nauts brought a woman who was captured on this island to Serene.
I remember, and yet it wasn't the first time. But on that occasion, a child was born.
So you can understand why we'd like to learn where this captive came from.
Yes, yes. I have seen more than a few Nauts looking for their parents. But what have you got to do with all this?
I met that woman in Serene. I got to know her well.
Listen, it's not that I don't want to help you, but my memory is no longer what it was. I wasn't the captain at the time. I wasn't the one who decided where we moored the ship. So I don't see how I can help you find out where this woman came from.
From one captain to another, if you would allow me.
Captain Vasco? I'm listening.
You said it yourself. A child was born at that particular time. A seaborn. And we always help one of our own.
Very well. I need to look in my old logbooks. I'm sure I'll find something. Wait for me here. I'll be an hour at the most. Here it is. I found my old logbook. There's a passage in it that would probably interest you. Your mother came from a village on the plains in the southeast of the island. I'm talking about a place where the bones of the whale are visible from the coast. I believe the natives call it Vignamri.
Thank you for this information, Captain.
It's nothing. I'm getting sentimental in my old age. Good luck to you.
So here you are on the verge of discovering your mother's village, of finding your own people. How do you feel?
I don't really know. I'm a little lost, I suppose. All of this is so new to me.
I understand. Mrs. de Sade was loving. She raised you with tenderness. And today you learn she is not your real mother. I'm sorry.
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
Tell me about your clan.
We are called the Seaside Nemes. The bone, because it is in our tradition to scout the whole island, and we also trade anything else.
What can you tell me about your village?
Vignamri means it used to be one of the largest on this. Some battles took place. Legend has it that this is the place where after the battles came the abductions, and that we were taught to be cursed. But anything else?
What do you think of people from the continent?
Many of our people would love for, but I would not. It is thanks to Lions have powerful weapons. The Lugaid Blau, your people.
Lugaid Blau? Is this what...
It means yellow eyes, because they're
coins.
The men of the sun seldom come here. I wish my brothers would understand how much we would... anything else.
I recently found out that my mother came from your village.
Your mother was from Vignamri. Now I understand why your face seems so familiar to me.
Indeed. She was captured before my birth and sent to the continent.
She was called Arelwyn. Did you know her?
Of course. Everyone here remembers her kidnapping.
Could you tell me more about that?
I was not the head of the clan back then. It was a very long time ago. But I remember the village Denegad, kidnapped by the people of the sea. All our warriors set off to her rescue. But it was all in vain. Most of them died, including the one she loved. It was a dark day, in which our village lost its knowledge and strength in one blow.
So my father died too. Do you know if any members of my family are still alive?
Yes. Slan, your mother's sister. She then became our Donegad. She was never able to match her sister's talent. Too much knowledge had been lost. Arelwyn was a renowned healer across all of Tiafradi. Taking her place was not an easy task.
It's not surprising that she was of interest to the congregation. They probably hoped she could help them find a cure for the Malachor. But all alone, far from the island. She was just a young, frightened woman who had lost all her powers.
Do you know where I can find my aunt?
You could try her house, but she's rarely there. She is an elderly woman now, and very much enjoys her own company. She doesn't speak much to me. But others here can probably tell you where to find her.
Thank you, Ullan.
Anything else?
Nothing. I must go.
What do you think of the chief of your village?
He seems quite friendly compared to the others we've run into.
A bit too friendly, if you ask me. A little too concerned with pleasing the settlers.
And you think that's a bad thing?
He reminds me of myself when I was younger. And that's not a compliment. My fear is that he serves his own ambition. And this is often done at the expense of others. There's no one here. Let's go and ask the inhabitants of the village if they know where to find her.
The islanders protect their Donegada. I don't know if they'll speak to some Renaigse.
Don't forget, you are one of them after all.
Hello.
Renaigse. Do you need help, Renaigse?
Actually, yes. I'm looking for the village Donegad.
Oh. And what do you want from her?
Ullan told me that she could help me to find someone.
Ullan must have wanted to play a dirty trick on you. There's no love lost between Ullan and the Donegad. She says that he loves the people from your island too much. But Ullan saved our village. Anyway, if you want to find her, try heading towards the western plains. I am not sure if she is there right now, but she likes going for walks there.
I'm extremely grateful.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
tricks! Found it, Dara,
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
There's a woman over there, surrounded by animals. It looks like she may be...
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle!
How do you feel, madam?
Well, thank you for stepping in. I don't understand what has happened. Usually these animals accept me. Something must have frightened them.
We are glad we arrived at the right time. We would have been very upset if something had happened to you.
Excuse me, but are you Slan, the Denegad of Vignamri?
Yes, that's me. Were you looking for me?
Yes, we were. If you would allow us, we'd like to accompany you and tell our story along the way.
Very well. I will walk by your side.
This is the story we have pieced together.
I just can't believe it. Yet, if I think about it, your face reminds me of hers.
My mother, or rather, the woman who raised me, gave me this necklace.
A Relwyn gave it to me, to give to her child, and I passed it on to Mrs. de Sade.
It looks familiar. Your father had given it to your mother when they bound. It's good that you are wearing it today. My poor beloved Relwyn, who died far away from us all, and divorced Tierce. I still miss her so much.
She wanted me to help her die. But I was unable to do such a thing. Someone would have figured it out. I would have been sent back to Ptolemy, and I would have lost everything. So I watched her suffer. And one day she died.
Petrus, I cannot hold it against you for letting her live.
No, you don't understand. I loved her. I loved her, and I didn't even have the strength to end her suffering. She's the only woman I've ever loved.
I never would have guessed.
Everyone loved Relwyn. She was marvelous. You cannot blame yourself, man of the light. What's more, you brought me her child. For that alone, she would forgive you if she were among us. All is well now. The child of Tia Fradi has returned home, and with him, the spirit of his mother. You are home, my Magam. Welcome.
Petrus, I wanted to thank you.
Thank me? Despite everything you know about me?
You may have been a bit cowardly in the past, To the point of letting the woman you loved suffer. You were manipulative, and you lied to everyone, including yourself. But thanks to what you've told me, I've been able to find my family and my origins. And for that, I thank you.
My child, what you're saying touches me more than you can imagine. At least I've done something good for once in my deceitful life. For you, and for her. I hope the Enlightened will remember this when I stand before him.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
What happened exactly with Major Herman?
I was just a kid then. But I was sent to an elite camp, although one must say that I was gifted for my age. This is when Captain Herman took charge of me. We were beaten almost every day. We hardly slept, and he humiliated us at every opportunity. The same treatment as Rainer, Wilhelm, and the others. Except, Herman occasionally came to visit us at night. But it's something I'd rather forget. The bastard went up in flames, and all my memories along with him. Anything else?
I must leave you. Captain Ruben?
Aye, the man himself. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation. And I'm sure you know my companion.
Vasco. Oh, do not worry. The seahorse is in good hands.
I'm sure, Ruben.
What brings you here?
The Admiral asked me to shed light on your little problem of indiscretion in your ranks.
I see. I would be happy to answer any questions you have.
You told the Admiral that you suspect one of your crew members.
Indeed. The young apprentice sailor, Alba. A committed volunteer from Thélème. She only joined us a short time ago. Did you want to know anything else?
What led you to these suspicions?
Well, the girl's behavior. She was very eager at first, very willing, almost too much. Then, suddenly, she became nervous. She isolated herself and did not speak to others. She's a recent recruit, which inevitably raised some doubts about her vocation. Sometimes I saw her hanging around my cabin. My papers were often disturbed. And since we've returned to port, she's almost never on board. Well, you can understand my concern, but you should probably talk to the other members of the crew. They may know something else.
Ultimately, your strong suspicion stems from the fact that she's sea-given.
A recent sea-given. She did not join us as a child, but you know how rare volunteers are, especially from Thélème. Did you want to know anything else?
Do you know what information she may have sent?
I don't know exactly what you know about our navigation methods.
Let's say that magic does not have much to do with it.
I see. Well, of course she knows that too. She saw some of our machines on board, and by searching through my papers, she could get even more sensitive information. Did you want to know anything else?
The Admiral told me that you were the new captain of the ship we arrived on.
The Seahorse? Yes. It's an excellent ship and a good crew. But you did the crossing. You know it as well as me. Did you want to know anything else?
That'll be all, Captain. Thank you.
Hey, happy to see you again. How have things been going for you since your crossing?
Good, thank you. Even if I've got quite a list of errands to check off.
Then straight to it. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a Naut. A young woman going by the name of Alba.
I know her. She joined our crew at the same time as our new captain. Did you try the tavern? Don't give me that look there. I've kept from the bottle since that story with Jonas, you know that. No matter. When we're at dock, there's nothing much else to do. It might be that little Alba went there to take a look. Anything else?
How have things been going for you since we landed?
Well, it came as quite a shock to see you grounded, Captain. We truly wondered why.
Alas, the Admiral's decisions are as mysterious as those of the luminous Lauro. Impenetrable.
That's true. But the crossing went so well, didn't it? And since Captain Ruben took the helm for you, well, he's not the talkative type. But then I'm not going to complain. We've been sailing the small rounds of late, keeping busy. We go from port to port around the island. It's peaceful. At least we're in port often. Anything else?
Do you like it on Tifredi?
It's not as nice as our isle, but it's far better than the continent. Here at least we can breathe, without smelling a corpse round every corner. And the coast is beautiful. And you know, the taverns aren't so bad. Anything else?
I need to go. Farewell.
Smooth sailing.
Your Excellency, I am so pleased to see you again.
The pleasure is shared.
Captain,
Good day, Jonas.
what can I do for you?
I would like you to tell me anything you can about a member of your crew. Alba.
She joined our party recently, but I like her already. She works hard and is full of courage. You know, she is one of those rare Nauts that joined of her own volition, and she did everything she could to become one of our own. Until we arrived here, she suddenly became distraught and frightened. It brought back memories.
Do you know where I could find her? I'd like to ask her some questions.
No, I've not seen her for a while. Maybe at the tavern? She was playing cards there from time to time. Anything else, Your Excellency?
How have things been since you made it back?
Very good. Everyone's been looking out for me extra careful, like. I do miss my parents, from time to time. But I don't miss the warehouse, or the mercenaries. My real family is on the waves. Thanks for helping me to return to them. Anything else, Your Excellency?
What have you been up to since we made it to Tirfredi?
I'm still just a cabin boy. But I have high hopes to be promoted to seaman for our next crossing. Since our captain changed, we've been doing nothing but coasting and small trade. But that won't last. Anything else, Your Excellency?
I'm afraid I need to be going. Watch out for yourself.
Captain, delighted to see you again. We've missed you. Your Excellency, it's a pleasure. What can I do for you?
We have a few questions to ask you, Flavio.
I'm all yours, Captain.
Can you tell me anything about Alba?
Oh, I don't know her very well. She only joined our crew recently. But she pulls her weight. You can't hold that against her. You might say she shows a little too much zeal even, at times. That being said, ever since we got here, I found her a little distraught. You could even say nervous.
Would you know where I could find her?
No, I wouldn't. She missed roll call. Well, I hope she didn't do something stupid. These committed volunteers, we never know if we can trust them. Anything else?
What have you been up to since we landed?
Nothing worthy of writing home about. Just shuffling merchandise around the Isle from port to port. I prefer the high sea. Anything else?
Are you happy on Tirfredi?
More than on the continent, that's certain. But being on solid ground always makes me feel a little too anchored. Especially after what happened to Jonas. The island is beautiful, the natives rather friendly, but all said and done, it's off the coast where I truly feel at home. Anything else?
I need to be off. Perhaps we'll meet later.
Farewell, then.
This does not help us much. The girl has changed her attitude, I agree. Maybe she had good reason for it. Lost at cards, heartache, homesick. Why not?
We were told that she was sometimes at the tavern. We should take a look there.
This time,
These drunkards
you
will
are
eventually
going
start
too far.
fighting. We can't
I
let
will
them get
not
away
let
with
you
it.
say one more word.
That's it. You can shout all you want, but I'm right, you old drunkard.
Not at all.
I played that hand honestly. You're so drunk. You see double, that's all.
Are you?
Come on, gentlemen. Please calm down.
Hey, you are guests here. Behave appropriately.
Who are you to give us orders?
That's true. You want to see how tough? Oh, you don't know who you're messing with.
They're totally drunk. I doubt we can make them see sense.
You better get out of here unless you want to end up in jail.
Ooh, he thinks we'll allow that to happen.
On guard, sir! On guard!
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! To my health! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get...
What can I pour for you?
Give me a bottle of your best drink.
There you go. But be careful. She's got a strong bite. What can I pour for you?
I'm looking for a young Naut. She goes by the name of Alba and sails on Captain Ruben's ship.
I wouldn't know who that is. Why don't you go and ask that fellow over there? He often shares a bottle with the sailors. He might remember your Naut. Anything else?
Have you been on New Serene for quite some time, then?
You could say that. I was on the first boat over, same time as Lady Morange herself. When we set foot on the docks, there was nothing here but a fort made of wood. I was a soldier back in the day, but it turned out we needed more craftsmen than men of the sword. So I went to work building the place. And then I took my chances running this here establishment. Anything else?
How is business faring?
Well, extremely well, in fact. Place is always packed. Nothing like the taverns on the continent completely empty since the Malachor hit us. Of course, seeing as it's mostly sailors and soldiers in here, there's a bad fight now and again. We get some pretty rough brawls. But at least it's not like we're living in some cemetery. Anything else?
I heard there are some interesting activities down in the basement.
Really? Well, that'd be news to me.
It was a friend of mine who told me about it. A friend who loves his cards.
If you're also a player, then yes, it might be something you'd appreciate. You'll even find pleasant company as well, if you're feeling alone and have some coin to part with. Anything else?